Oh. Oh, I love this book. I don't know how to process this. This was so good. What is going on? It's been so long since I did one of these that I really hope that this one is actually going to go well. Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm finally, after trying to get this to work and have the stars align for so long, I am finally doing a 24-hour readathon. Now I'm splitting this over 2 days because obviously I need to sleep to be actually coherent and read. So I've picked out my 5 books that I feel like I could potentially get through, but also give myself a bit of variety. The chances are I will likely deviate from this stack because I mean I am a chronic mood reader, so it's unlikely that I'll actually read every single book on this and I will end up reading other books on my TBR. But these are the ones I did pick out that I do want to try and get to, that I do think I will have a good time with, that I feel like I could read in one sitting. So let's go through the TBR stack and then get started with this readathon. I wanted to wake up early, to be quite honest, to do this, but it's so hot in the UK. It's like reaching 33 to 34 degrees, which in the UK is not normal, and we're not prepared for that kind of heat, although we've had this for a couple of weeks now. But I had to stay awake very late last night to walk my dog, which meant I had to sleep in this morning to actually have some semblance of sleep in this heat. It is currently 20 to 11, so I'm going to start at 11, but I still think that gives me a good 12 hours today to read as much as possible. The first book I picked out is Stillborn by Taylor J. LaRue. I don't know anything about this book, but I know that this is something that just screams like it's made for me. The cover is stunning. The artwork in this book is absolutely stunning. Look at these spray edges. I've had really, really good things from early ARC reviewers, and to be honest, Wayward's releases have worked out for me like 8 out of 10 times. So I do have really strong hopes that this could potentially be a new 5-star read. I'm really excited for this, but it is a shorter read, so it makes it suitable for a 24-hour readathon. I have probably my first book that I'm going to be reading in this 24-hour readathon is Daybreak by Autumn Woods. I can't believe that I've not read this yet, but I do feel like this is also another perfect book for a 24-hour readathon because I will read this in one sitting. I absolutely will not be able to tear myself away from this book. So I just feel like what better way than to read this in a 24-hour readathon where I won't feel guilty for finishing this in one sitting. Then we have Wicked Onyx by Debbie Cassidy. This I picked up because I was looking for more books like Spellcaster by Jamin Eve, and this is an academia setting. I think there's like sorcerers and sorceresses, there's secrets going on, there's a lot happening, and I do think this is another book that I could finish in one sitting. Crown of Olympus by Kate Asher. This has been on many a TBR. Let's see if I actually get to this, but this is a Greek mythology inspired book with trials and prophecy, and I really want to read this, and I feel like there's no better way to get me to read this than when I have to read for 24 hours and I have to pick up books. And then last but not least, The Mist Thief by L.J. Andrews. This is the 3rd book in the Eversea series. This is the 2nd duet. I have been waiting for The Stolen Crown to be closer to the release, and now that we are, it's finally time for me to pick this up. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to return to this world and return to these characters and find out what plot we're following in this book. I already have some semblance of a clue, but to find the actual, to see how it all comes together, I'm really, really excited about. So I cannot wait to dig my teeth into this. But the first book I am going to start this 24-hour readathon is Daybreak. It's the book I'm most excited for. It's the book that I've put off for way too long. And I think that this is going to be a great start to this 24-hour readathon. So I'm going to dive in and I will give you an update when I'm somewhat through it. I am I have 8.5 hours left into this readathon, but I am, because I can't, the heat is like melting my brain apparently, but I am 234 pages into Daybreak. Now, I'm liking this, but I don't have the same 5-star overwhelming feeling that Nightshade did give me. This feels like a good sequel, but it's not mind-blowing. I have seen people talk about this duology and say that it could have been a standalone, and do you know what? I get it, and I do second that. This definitely could have been a longer standalone rather than a duology, but I'm not complaining at getting more time with these characters and, you know, and reading their story. It's cute, it's fun, but I think this second book is a reason why I don't typically read romances, and I don't like romances because there's no stakes, there's no hook, there's no overwhelm, there's no plot that's just like over encompassing the book and it's ever developing, and there's like lines from stemming it from it, and that's what I love with fantasy books. You know, there's so much action and adventure, and there just isn't that in romance books for me. There was something about Nightshade that kept me intrigued. You know, I do think that there was a good plot, there was hooks with the stalkers and all the other things going on, but this one doesn't seem to have that hook. It's kind of just like the same story just carried on with no real development. But I'm going to continue. I'm going to finish this book today. I did get myself a 1-star. I got myself a 1-star, a nice cold 1-star, because I am desperately trying to keep cool right now. It's 32 degrees in my room right now, and it's 33 degrees outside. So yeah, melting is the understatement. If you don't get many updates from me today, I'm sorry, but I'm trying so hard to just survive this heat. But I am going to continue reading, and I'll probably give you an update when I finish the book, to be quite honest, because I don't feel like I have many updates that I would need to give for this book, because there's just not a lot happening. This may be the hardest 24-hour readathon I have ever done, because I am so incredibly hot and the temperature just keeps getting higher. But I am 6.5 hours left on the clock. I have now finished Daybreak. It did take me longer than I typically would, because I had to like keep rereading paragraphs because I was just like, my brain's not working right now. I know what let me start with the review. See what I mean? I'm no brain, absolutely none, disappeared. It was good, not a 5-star. I probably would rate it a 4. I think this was a beautiful end to their story, and I feel like everything was wrapped up really well. No mad, well, actually there was one shocking twist that did happen that I did not see coming, because I was racking my brain as to who it was going to be, although I do again blame the fact that I have no brain cells working right now. So yeah, it was a cute, sweet story. It was nice. I think it was the perfect read to read in this temperature, because I didn't have to concentrate too hard. I mean, I say that and then I had to reread certain paragraphs, but I didn't have to concentrate too hard on things because I'm already familiar with this world. I'm already familiar with these characters. I know the plot. So it was like I could just dive in and be just like mellow and kind of just be happy to be back in this world. But yeah, it wasn't an overwhelming 5-star like Nightshade was. But I kind of was expecting that, to be quite honest, with the sequel, because at least, like I said before, I think for romances it's very hard to keep the stakes high and to keep the reader really engaged in, well, at least, let me just talk about myself. At least for me, to be really engaged with the story and everything that's happening with the characters, because there's not a whole lot of... I can't think about the end of that sentence. I really can't. I'm struggling so hard right now. Do you know what? I think I'm going to take a little break. I think I need to try and cool down as desperately as possible. But I do have what I want to read next. Let me grab that. I think for my next read, I'm going to do Wicked Onyx. I do really want to keep on the theme of reading an academia setting, but now in a fantasy world, which is so exciting, and I can't wait to read it. I feel like this is one of those books that I feel like I'm absolutely going to devour. It's so pretty. But I'm really, really excited about this because I really have been wanting to read it for a while, and the flop of it is immaculate. I have to say, in this heat, paperbacks over hardback. They're so much easier to hold when your hands are so sweaty. Oh my god. I'm not surviving right now. But yeah, I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna put pause on the timer for now, and I'm gonna try and figure this out. I do think that I'm probably gonna have to read very late tonight because it'll be so much cooler and I'll be able to actually cope. So I have 6 hours. It's 6 o'clock right now. I think if I at least read by 9 or 10 o'clock, I definitely think I could finish this 12-hour slot within this day. And then I'm realizing that actually after 12 o'clock it's a new day. But we're not gonna think about that. It's not a new day until I go to bed. I will come back to you when I start reading this book. Okay, as promised, it is a little bit later in the day and it's finally cool enough that I can function as a normal human being. So I have started Wicked Onyx by Debbie Cassidy, and I have just under 5 hours left, and I'm 134 pages into this book, and it's really good and it's very interesting, and I'm finding myself very quickly absorbed by the story in this character because we're following a character whose entire bloodline has been cast out. They have been torn away from their power and cursed as a result of it. Now she is the last one of her bloodline and she is seeking the truth. She wants to find out what really happened to her bloodline and if the reason why their power was taken was done rightfully so. So she has entered the Knightsbridge Academy, which is where they train hunters to hunt down these things called horrors. Now, these horrors are a variety of things, but they are deadly. So these hunters are trained from about 16, and when they start to make their first kills, they then become hunters. And so she's been thrown into Knightsbridge, and she is in there just to find the truth, and she has her own agenda, and she doesn't really care about anything else. But it's very quick off the get-go. Like, things are happening very quickly. It's at a very rapid pace. I don't even realize that I'm only 132 pages in and so much has happened. Now this information was really hard to find. I was trying to figure out if this was a duology or a trilogy or a standalone, because there is no information on the book itself or on the author's Instagram. But I did look on Goodreads, which, to be honest, probably should have been my first bet. But it is a series. I don't know how many books are set to be projected. The author did say she's writing book 3. So when I had to scroll and find every single caption and read every single caption to do with this book. But she's writing book 3. So book 2 isn't out yet, set to be released this year. I don't know when. But yeah, I don't like the author's page. It's very hard to navigate what books or what. But I digress. I am enjoying this. I feel like this is a potential of a series that I could very much get into and enjoy and pick up every book in. So far I'm really enjoying the vibes. It's not 5-star or anything, but it's very easy to fall into, and I'm really enjoying the FMC and just being in her head. She's very feisty. She's very aware of herself, and she's built a thick skin because obviously she has been bullied all her life because of her bloodline and because of who she is. So I'm really enjoying it. I do think I'm going to fly through this pretty quickly. Now we have dragons. I may love this more than I thought I did. The world building isn't incredibly detailed, but somehow I can picture it so vividly. It's crazy how I feel like I'm so in this book, but with so very little detail. We're 176 pages in and so much has happened. So obviously with that leaves not a lot of room for detail and world building, because you're obviously having to build the plot and the character and all that. But somehow this world is crystal clear in my mind, and I don't know how it's possible. I am so intrigued. Oh! I really, really wish I didn't care about this book, because I really, really care about this book and I really, really want to know what's happening, and it's the worst feeling when you know you can't have the next book because it's like 4 months away. How am I supposed to pick up another book? I don't want to. I have 2 hours and 48 minutes left. Oh. I made a mistake. I should not have read this. I had no idea it was going to make me feel this way. This sucks. I need book 2. Do you know what? I don't even need book 2. I need the entire series because I just want to binge the entire series. I need another book like this that, like, this is a slow burn. Like, nothing happens in this. Like, it is an extreme slow burn. But it's like the plot and the magic and the environment and all the mysteries that just has me so freaking hooked. I am desperate to find out what it all means. Okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to pick up next. 2 books down. I think I'm gonna read Stillborn next, because I feel like this is going to be the closest to giving me the feelings of Wicked Onyx. Although this will have me completely intrigued, but it's a lot thicker. I feel like this is more manageable right now. I'm going to read Stillborn next for our third read. I think what I'm going to do is I need to go try and eat something. And then I'll see you when I get somewhat into this book. This may actually be my best 24-hour readathon yet, because what do you mean I have potentially found another 5-star read? I mean, I know my previous 2 reads were 4-star, but this changed the game. I can't stop reading, and obviously that is the entire premise of a 24-hour readathon, is reading for 24 hours. But I'm not simply reading because I have to, it's because I am so engrossed in this story. I love this FMC. She may actually be my new favorite FMC. And this is why I will always buy a Wayward release, bar the 2 that I have read that I quite frankly hated. This is the best thing I've ever read. And I'm praying that they do a special edition of this book, because I want every edition that I could possibly get my hands on. This is phenomenal. No, that doesn't even cut it. This is a masterpiece. This is going to be my next god tier book, potentially, if this continues the way it's going. I'm on page 166. I have 9 hours and 40 minutes left, which means I have read 100. Well, I did have to stop because I had some stuff to do, and I didn't stop the timer because I don't have enough time today to stop the timer, and I would like to go to sleep at a reasonable hour because I do have work tomorrow. But it has been almost impossible to put down, and things are just, they keep getting better. Things just keep exploding. I did see one of the plot twists coming, because I mean, it's kind of just, it's one of those things where it is a plot twist, but where the author has kind of given you so much information about it, there's no choice but for that to be the plot twist. So that's not surprising, but I do feel like there's going to be a lot of shocking twists in this book. This is so good. And just the romance that's brewing, the chemistry, the tension, the silent yearning that I think the MMC is going through. Bury me with this book. Yeah, I'm so happy I picked this up. I was contemplating whether I actually really wanted to pick this up, because if this ended up being a 5-star god tier book, you know, the next book is no less than a year away. And that's just torture. Why do I keep reading books that aren't complete? I need to read more series that are complete, because I can't deal with these plot twists, these cliffhangers, and the wait. It's just killing me. I do have a book that's coming today, which is an almost completed trilogy, with the third book coming out on the 22nd of September, which is perfect, because that means I don't have to wait that long to actually finish the entire series. So yeah, I do think that I'm going to be more selective with the books I pick up by next, and just buy more series that are complete, because it's a killer. It is a killer. I completely forgot to provide an update. It's that time of the month and I'm not doing okay. I'm 344 pages in still, and I love it so much. This is, do you know what? I saw that cover, I saw the title, and I knew that this had the potential to become a 5-star read for me. I don't know if it's god tier yet, but it's insane how vivid and detailed everything is. Like, I keep losing myself in the story when I'm supposed to be giving updates, when I'm supposed to be doing this 24-hour readathon for YouTube, but instead I'm just like, I love them. I love these characters and the friendship she's formed. I also especially love this FMC. She has definitely reached one of the top 5 FMCs that I love in a book. She's definitely reached becoming one of my top 5 FMCs of all time, because it's just being in her brain. Do you know what it is? And I hate comparing books to other books, but you know when you have, like, if your comfort read is Throne of Glass, you're going to love this, because this is a comfort read book. This is a book you fall into, and the world is built in such vivid brushstrokes that you just lose yourselves. You lose yourselves within the streets that you're running down with the FMC, and just how big this world is. I think that she's just done such an insane job building up this world and making us fall in love with it, but then also making us fall in love with each and every character she introduces us to, and all the complex stories that go around each of them. Like, she just does such a good job at making them so human and their emotions so real. I'm so sad I have this much left. It's currently, I currently have 6 hours and 49 minutes to read. I'm definitely going to finish this book, and then I have to pick up another book. But it's like, every time I finish a book, it's like, what is going to follow? Like, what could possibly follow up to this? Like, usually I'd read a book like this and I would need a day's break to digest and come to terms with the fact that I don't have the next book in this series, and I won't for a while. But I don't have that luxury in a 24-hour readathon, and I have to read this within this 24-hour readathon. So yeah, devastated at the fact that I have less than, what, maybe 100 pages, just over 100 pages to read and be with this character, be with these characters, and be left with an utterly gut-wrenching plot. But yeah, this is the easiest 5 stars I've ever given a book. Well, actually, that's not true. I've given quite a few books an easy 5 stars, but this is one of those cases where it's just an easy 5 stars. It's known, I don't have to dabble with it. It is a 5-star. And it has potential for content, to be quite honest. Oh, I love this book. How long was I out 4 hours, 28 minutes, and 3 seconds. Oh, he's down bad. Can't end a book like that. I don't know how to process it. This was so good. I feel like I haven't had a book like this in a very, very long time. Probably, I want to say, since I read Lady of Darkness. Like, this has the potential to live up to some of my top favourite fantasy romances of all time. I don't know how many books are projected to be in this series, but wow. Wow. I'm genuinely just blown away. I don't know how I'm supposed to pick up any other book after finishing this, but somehow I have to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go walk my dog, take a breather, process this in the little amount of time that I have, and then I will pick up my next book. Like, God knows what book I'm going to pick up after this, but we'll make that choice. Will I stick to the TBR pile I made, or will I deviate? We shall see. But 5 stars, resounding 5 stars. Like, I'm genuinely feeling 6-star vibes. This was, I'm gobsmacked. Okay, I'm back and utterly exhausted. I am still reeling over Stillborn, to be quite honest. It's been about an hour. I took my dog for a good long walk and just found myself thinking about the book the entire time. But I'm ready to wrap up this readathon. I've got just over 4 hours left, and I'm going to pick up Crown of Olympus by Kate Asher. This is book 1 in the Hades Trials. I think book 2 is out. I don't know how many books are projected to be in the series, but at least if I love this, I do have a second book to go into. But I've been meaning to read this for quite a while, and it just kind of seems like now's the perfect time, because if I don't end up loving it, then actually, no, I will be heartbroken about that. But I feel like this is the perfect time to read it because I'm winding down from the day. I've read 3 books that absolutely floored me, and I feel like this has the potential to absolutely floor me as well. I do want to read The Mist Thief a lot, but it is a bit of a thicker book, and Stolen Crown is still a few weeks away, and I don't think I could deal with a massive cliffhanger at the moment. And at least with this, I do have a book 2 to read if I end up loving it. So I am putting this to the side for at least this readathon, and I'm going to dive into this. I do need to order myself some food first because I'm starving, but I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to dive into this, and I'll give you an update when I'm somewhat through this. 190 pages in, and so far this 24-hour readathon is surpassing all of my expectations, because I have just been reaching for banger after banger books. I don't know how this has happened, but this is another case where I'm just completely sucked in by the book. It's not the best thing I've ever read. Like, obviously there are kind of holes in certain places, there are details that are being missed. It's not the most well-rounded world building, but I find that the plot is very interesting. It's very well built, the plot in general, especially the trials. I do wish there was a little bit more time spent in between. It feels like we're just going from trial to trial to trial, which is just a bit too fast. Like, I'd like to spend more time with the characters and their relationship, really build that up, rather than just rushing through everything. But I'm finding myself very intrigued. I do think I'm going to order book 2. I don't think I'm in a terrible rush for it, so I think I'm going to order it from Waterstones, which takes about 2 weeks for indie releases, for indie books to be dispatched. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I love this FMC, like I really do. I think we're right now at the moment I'm more driven towards FMCs that are quite badass from the beginning. You know, they can fight for themselves, they're very confident, not in every way, but you know, they're strong rather than the opposite. And I'm just really enjoying books with those kind of characters in it. And this one is a very strong FMC who is the daughter of Hades. But in this reality, Persephone, her mother, has been killed by Zeus. Zeus is now also dead, and she tore apart everything in her sentencing of Zeus and where their expectation of Zeus would go. It's a very interesting catapult into the plot. So right now they're competing in trials because they've all been chosen to contend for the crown. So they have to do these trials to help the crown choose who should rule Olympus. And there's also a prophecy in play that seems to be about her. And she has no idea what's happening behind the scenes, but it's just so good. And the yearning, oh my god, the yearning. I don't know if this because it's going to be like a wide choose moment, but if it is, I'm going to be so happy because I am rooting for them both. But the yearning, oh my god, it's so good. But he's in such denial over it. Oh, I love it. I'm 200 pages in. I have 2 hours left. It's currently midnight and I do have work tomorrow. So I think I'm going to have to pause this timer. And I'm going to have to continue this tomorrow because I do need to get a full night's sleep. And if I don't stop here, I'm not going to stop. But I will finish this tomorrow. I think I will finish this in 2 hours. I've got like just over... Yeah, I have just over 200 pages left. So that's what we're gonna do because I'm still reading for 24 hours ish, and then we'll revisit this tomorrow. So I will see you in the morning. It'll be like a snapshot for you guys. What is going on? That was a whole lot that happened in those last like 50 pages. It did unfortunately have one of my most hated tropes. Not one of my most hated. What? It's not my most hated tropes. It's just a trope I dislike. Because the trope I hate the most is pregnancy. This is more a trope I dislike. And I don't really like when it happens. And I'm hoping it's not permanent. Wow. I don't know where I want to rate this. I think I'm going to settle for a 4-star rating. Do I think there were parts of this that I would have loved to have seen more of and that I felt could have done with more time and description and just detail in general? Yes. Do I think the romance was a little bit it's weird because it was still quite a little bit of a slow burn, but it also felt a little bit rushed. On, I don't know really how to explain it. I do love the romance in here. Do I wish? I'm not going to say that because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, I think I'm going to set off a 4-star rating because this was so good and had my utter attention. And just for that, I feel like having me so having me so connected to the characters in the world and just feeling things so viscerally, just for that, it's a 4-star, but it could have been a 5-star. I just think there are gaps in I just think there are gaps in the storytelling and the development of the plot that I felt like was needed to make it well-rounded. But yeah, I did order book 2. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up tomorrow because I'm so dreadfully tired. I don't think I could actually do a coherent wrap up. So I'll see you in the morning. Well, hello there. It is officially the end of this 24-hour readathon. Did it actually happen within an actual 24 hours? No, it was more spread across like 3 days. But do you know what? It's still not bad because I got a lot of reading done. I am so happy at the TBR I have conquered during this 24-hour readathon. I really need to do more 24-hour readathons. It's just really hard to like calculate the timing. But I think if I do this again and again spread it over 3 days, I think it's so much more manageable and I don't have to stress too much about the timing of things. So I read 4 books during this 24-hour readathon. It is one of my best 24-hour readathons I've ever done. I haven't rated a single book under 4 stars. So last night I finished Crown of Olympus by Kate Asher and was absolutely gobsmacked at how good this was. I genuinely didn't know if this was going to be something I enjoyed or not. I know I love Greek mythology based books, but I think with indie authors you always have that slight chance that the book may not be perfectly written. Well, this isn't perfectly written, but like that it's not coherent, that it's not cohesive. And I'm so happy that this was coherent, it was cohesive. Do I think there are like places where it could have been better and things could have been added? Absolutely. But for everything else, this was the best time. I enjoyed myself so much. The yearning that was happening within this book. Kalis, oh my god, that guy was so down bad, and I just think this was really refreshing. It was a very interesting twist on Greek mythology, and I loved this FMC. I love how kick-ass badass she was and how she just held everything together after everything she's been through. It was so good. So my official rating for this is 4 stars, and I will definitely be picking up book 2, which is set to be delivered today, I think. I also finished Wicked Onyx by Davy Cassidy. Book 2 in December is going to be the worst wait ever, but I can't wait to have that book in my hands because I know that it's just going to be something, again, devour in one sitting, and will probably feature in another 24-hour readathon. But I ended up rating this a 4.5. This was spectacular. This was so well written, and the slow burn, oh my god, it was painful slow burn, but somehow I was still gobbling it up because apparently I like to be kept tortured. I also finished Stillborn by Taylor J. LaRue. This is a recent release. This literally came out this week, which is insane. Probably the quickest I've read a release I've been anticipating. But I've rated this a resounding 6-star. This absolutely blew me away. I knew this had a potential to be 5 stars. I had no idea that it was actually going to end up being a potential god tier series for me. If every book in their series continues the way this does, I guarantee this is going to be a god tier series and will be a comfort read. I want to reread this so badly and annotate the absolute crap out of it. I also might see if I can grab the Fairy Loot copy of this because this was the August adult book box. As per usual, it is the adult book box, which I don't have, but I'm going to see if I can grab a copy for a decent price. And then last but not least, we started the 24-hour readathon with Daybreak by Autumn Woods. I think this was a very good sequel to the romance duology. I had an inkling that it wouldn't be as good as Nightshade. I stand by what I said, that it's very hard for a romance book to be a series and keep you hooked from beginning to end, because there's only so much you could do in a romance book that you can do in a fantasy world. So I ended up rating this a 4 stars. I think this was a really, really good book. I enjoyed myself massively, but it wasn't all consuming like Nightshade was. So that is the end of this 24-hour readathon. I think I'm gonna do another one in a couple of weeks because there is a bank holiday, and I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna go through my TBR again, because if I can read as many books as I did today this weekend, I'm gonna be so happy. But yeah, that wraps up this readathon. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe. You can find me on all socials as Lauriereads. I'm most active on TikTok, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.